And we begin tonight with a new tragedy here. First it was Texas, now it's New Mexico. A terrifying wall of water, a new flash flood emergency, and it's been deadly. Homes swept away, one family, a soldier and his wife, their 2 children swept away. Only the parents were found alive. The images tonight here, that powerful wall of water sweeping right through this community in New Mexico, the river rising 20 feet in just 30 minutes. At least 3 people were killed. Powerful currents ripping homes right off of their foundations. Dozens of water rescues reported. The governor in New Mexico tonight declaring a state of emergency. Meantime, in Texas, search and rescue teams now in their 6th day. The death toll there rising just as we come on tonight. At least 119 now dead and 170 people still missing, including children. And further north at this hour along the East Coast tonight, severe thunderstorms and now watches and warnings for more damaging winds and possible flash flooding. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia. We have it all covered tonight. Ginger Z is standing by with the forecast, and our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, in Texas. The son calling for his mother from a tree, and you'll see it right here. And now this new horrific tragedy in New Mexico.
A long night ahead for residents of Ruidoso, New Mexico, after a ferocious and deadly wall of water blasted through the streets. At least 3 people killed when the banks of the Rio Ruidoso River outside Albuquerque rose a record 20 feet in just 30 minutes. A young soldier and father of 2 stationed at Fort Bliss, Texas, was on vacation with his family at a campground when they were swept away in those raging floodwaters. He and his wife were found safe, but their 4-year-old daughter and their 7-year-old son did not survive.
Oh my God, they just pulled somebody out.
Oh no.
This home ripped from its foundation and sent smashing downhill. Crews today combing through the debris left behind. That horror in New Mexico comes just days after those devastating floods 500 miles away in Texas, where recovery teams in Kerrville are scouring riverbeds for a 6th day. At least 170 people still unaccounted for after that catastrophic July 4th flash flood killed at least 119 people. Dispatch audio exclusively obtained by our affiliate KSAT details emergency crews' initial response to the devastating floods here.
We still have water coming up. The Guadalupe Shoemaker sign is now underwater on Highway 39. Is there any way we can send a code red out to our Hunt residents asking them to find higher ground or stay home?
Lindsay Roberson and her teenage son Jack swept from their home into those roiling waters.
The next thing I saw coming for me was a house, and I don't even know how it all happened.
Lindsay spoke to me from her hospital bed recovering from surgery.
But I went under, and it was like being in a washing machine, just flipping around under the water.
She fought to the surface, but debris also pelting her son. They were separated. Then both Jack and his mom grabbing onto trees.
There's boats and helicopters coming. What? I am. I can climb higher, but I'm okay. Are you high? Mom, are you in a tree? There's boats coming.
They weren't boats, but cars floating by. Lindsay grateful Jack was okay.
Because I don't think there's a word that describes the overwhelming, oh my God, there's my baby and he's alive. Thank God, he's alive. He's alive. He's alive.
And in a remarkable turn, Lindsay's 2 daughters were at Camp Mystic, where so many little girls were lost. Like their cousins, Eloise and Georgia Jones, they survived.
It was like unlivable. And that's when we got news that people had vanished from their cabins, and that's when we realized like truly something was terrible happened.
We're not running. We're not going to hide from everything.
Officials here grilled about the county's lack of answers about warning systems in a region nicknamed Flash Flood Alley.
Those are important questions. We will answer those questions. I wish y'all would bear with me in that.
ABC News learning Kerr County commissioners discussed some sort of a flood warning system 20 times just since 2016. And finally, in April, authorizing a contract worth up to $73,000 to develop a system. Councilmember Ray Howard fuming.
That just blows me away. That's unfathomable that it never worked on it. This is lives. This is people's. This is families. This is heartbreaking.
And just 20 miles downriver from here in Comfort, Texas, they have sirens and test them every day at noon.
Every day at noon, that siren goes off, alerting reminding people that the system is working.
Authorities say those sirens save lives. In Backup River tonight, we're learning more about those families lost here.
Water just started coming like super fast.
Leo Romero Jr. turns 19 today. He watched his father, stepmother, and his 2-year-old brother ripped away from their home.
I don't want to say I accepted it, but no, I thought I was going to die.
His father, Leo, remembered for having the sweetest smile. Leo's wife, Natalia, as the kindest living soul, and Carlos as a sweet little boy who loved to play, smile, and laugh.
And David, just a short time ago, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announcing a special session of the state legislature that will largely focus on flood preparation and relief. And just a reminder, Comfort, Texas, 15 miles downriver from here, it only cost them $70,000 to buy those 2 sirens there. David.
Those sirens that definitely save lives. We know this emergency meeting is just days from now. Matt will stay on this, of course, for the people of Texas. Thank you. Tonight, we're also watching very closely a line of scattered storms north of Kerrville, where Matt was, just outside that area. And in the east at this hour, there are also damaging thunderstorms and now flash flood watches in effect from Washington, D.C., right up through Philadelphia. So let's get right back to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z, back with us again tonight. Ginger, first Texas, of course, and you're tracking storms there again?
Yes, and they're just north of Kerr County, so you can see them on the map. We're talking about the storms 1 to 3 inches that will fall really quickly, even a flash flood warning in place for the town of Brady. You see how they're kind of sinking south? Be aware of that tonight, especially in hill country. Now, it's going to dry out Thursday and Friday before rain comes back for the weekend. Ruidoso, though, under a flood watch again at this hour because we see the futurecast moving through 9 p.m. Mountain Time. That's another storm that could produce an inch or two really quickly, and that swollen river has not gone all the way down yet. Let's go to the east. Washington, D.C. is currently in a flash flood warning. We've just heard reports of trees into cars. Severe thunderstorm warnings are happening from there into Virginia. Richmond about to get hit with that line as well. Delaware, New Jersey, Philadelphia, you still have it ahead of you. We're going to get rid of this entire thing after midnight. As you can see, that severe thunderstorm watch is up, but many of these storms are moving slowly. They could produce 2 to 3 inch per hour rainfall rates, David. Level 3 out of 4 for flash flooding.
All right, watching these storms here in the east through midnight, Ginger says. And Ginger, we thank you.